The New York Rangers have a massive problem on their hands as we get more updates from Locker Cleanout Day as it pertains to one of their best defensemen. And this update will have fans absolutely livid, as this is something the Rangers organization needs to clean up, or it will have serious implications on not just the team and the roster, but the organization moving forward. We're going to break it all down in this episode of Rangers Digest. But before we do that, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 74% of you, there's been an influx of new viewers here on the channel the last little while. 74% of you are not subscribed to the channel. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening with this New York Rangers team as we head into a very busy offseason with the draft, free agency coming up, and of course, we're not done yet. I mean, we still have a coach that the Rangers have to hire. It's going to get very interesting. It's free. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. You get to stay up to date with everything with the Rangers. But we get some more tidbits and updates from Locker Cleanout Day and some stuff surrounding the team. And one of these updates, we'll dive into it right now, is absolutely shocking to me. And, you know, you can make your own assumptions, but I think you know where I'm going with this based on everything we've learned the last couple of days with Chris Kreider. How do you continue to allow players to play on injuries like this? This one is the most shocking of them all to me. Braden Schneider was sitting in an arm, a big arm sling, obviously on Locker Cleanout Day, and he said that he's already underwent surgery on a torn labrum. He is very confident he'll be ready by the start of next season. Now, we know, by all accounts, Braden Schneider to end the season was hurt. We heard that. Remember, he didn't play the last two games. There was so much made out of it. We're like, okay, he's injured. He's going to get surgery or he's going to try and rehabilitate it, whatever, what have you. But he ended up getting surgery. So in your head, you're thinking, that makes sense. He got injured at the end of the year. And honestly, his play from about halfway through the season onward, I was like, this guy's clearly injured. Like, it's just not the Braden Schneider that we know. But now there's more that's come out over the last day that he underwent surgery to repair a torn labrum. And he said it's been an issue for 2 years to this point. He said that he could play through it, but he felt it limited his physicality. Why was he playing on a torn labrum for 2 years? Now, there's more details and context to it. He said that he expects to be back at the start of next season, and he wants no excuses going into next season. I think now with the surgery and the fact that he's going to be able to, rehab it, get back for next season, he's going to be a much better player. And that probably plays into why he wasn't playing well for a chunk of this season, because I was like, clearly, I want to love Braden Schneider. He's a great defenseman, but he's not playing up to the standard that we know him to. He had a beauty OT winner against the Minnesota Wild late in the season, but other than that, getting burned by Jordan Staal in the game, they got officially mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. I was like, this is not the same player. Now, he's been dealing with it for 2 years at this point. There's been a lot made out of, the Rangers coaching staff, the medical team, all of this on X the last couple of days. And this calls it into question again. Now, there is context. Braden Schneider said that he's been dealing with this labrum issue since the 2022-23 season. He's been dealing with this for 2 seasons at this point. And he said it was sore for the first season. Last year, I knew there was a tear in it. And then this year, they said it was pretty bad. What are we even talking about? The first year, okay, I understand you're sore. You're thinking maybe it's nothing. It's just a wear and tear of a season. I can understand that. If he had already torn it at that point, playing through that, by the way, and not thinking anything of it is insane. Kudos to, that's a tough player. This is a tough player for going through that. To go through another season where last year he knew that it was torn and he did not get surgery on it. He continued to play on it. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's worse. Him not saying I need surgery on this, or, it's fine, I can play through this, or the team not shutting him down and saying you need to get surgery on this so then you can fix this, which will cause issues, and we'll get to this in a second too, in the future for him as a human being. Shut him down, get surgery so he can come back and play at the top of his game. He was playing this entire season. Take this in, everyone. He was playing the entire season this past season, 24-25, with a torn labrum. It's hard to do. You can't be physical. It's unbelievable that he was playing on this for essentially 2 seasons at this point. And the fact that he went into the 3rd round of the playoffs last year with this team with a torn labrum, he is a tough customer. That is for sure. But to let it bleed to this season, I think is incredibly irresponsible by almost everybody at this point. Everybody involved in this. This is mind-boggling that they allowed this to happen. And I'm shocked that they even allowed him to speak about this, to be honest, because the optics of this are awful, I think, considering everything that's happened with the team this year. Now, The surgery was on April 17th, so he just got the surgery after the season. We knew he was injured at the end of the year. We didn't know how long he had been injured for. This is new information. Now, he's been in a sling for 4 weeks, or he's in the sling for 4 weeks, excuse me, and then at the 3-month mark, he'll begin skating again, so then he can rehab during the summer and get back to playing. Now, this is an article more on the torn labrum by Remy Mastry, and this gives us more of an insight. It was during the 2022-2023 campaign when it began to bother him, but it wasn't until next year that he realized his labrum was torn. This season, the tear became more of an issue, as Schneider described it in his own words as pretty bad. It sounds worse than it actually was. Schneider was still able to play, and he decided to hold up on surgery in order to be available for the New York Rangers. Listen, I know that the Rangers thought they were going to make the playoffs, but playing on something like that could cause issues in the future, and he's not playing at 100%. So what is it? You know, I guess earlier this season, you're like, maybe they can make the playoffs, like at the 5-game mark into the season. But heading into November and December, why didn't you go, okay, shut him down, it's over, right? Like, unbelievable. The Rangers only really came back into the playoff picture around late January, February, right? And then they fell off, the cliff again. And he went on to say, it's something that I obviously was able to play through. There were times where it would hurt and it would be tougher than other days, obviously, because your labrum is torn. So, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. But it's something that, just given the circumstances of the way this year went and having the time that we have now, it's something that I wanted to get fixed to help prolong my career and play at a level where I can bring a bit more physicality to our team and things like that. So it's more something that I want to get done and make sure that I'm better for next year and for the rest of my time. I mean, yeah, and he's only 23. Take that in. I mean, I know he wanted to be available for the team, and the team probably wanted him to line up to see if they can make the playoffs, but you knew you weren't going to win the Stanley Cup this year. We all could see it. I thought they were maybe going to squeeze into the playoffs, but he's playing on a torn labrum from an entire season. He probably didn't get surgery last summer because they went pretty deep in the playoffs, and he looked at the recovery timeline and said, I wouldn't be ready for the start of this year. So then he opted to play with a torn labrum. Absolutely insane. Now, there is some fan reaction as well that I wanted to bring up. That, the last couple of days, like I said, coaching staff, the organization, the medical staff, everybody's being called into question at this point. Look, Chris Kreider, he had a back injury. He had vertigo, some type of, he was talking about it, some type of, infection that caused vertigo for him. He was playing with that for some reason, and then basically a broken hand at the end of the year that he was still getting into the games over guys like Brendan Othmann and Brett Berard regularly. He missed a couple games because of it. Braden Schneider had a torn labrum for 2 years. This is still unbelievable information that we're getting right now. He didn't miss a game. And Jacob Trouba, a broken ankle. He missed 8 or 10 games with a broken ankle last year. Keep that in mind. So I don't think he came back at 100% either. Not that you're going to over the course of that season, but I feel like a lot of things need to be called into question with this organization right now. Now, again, we have another article from Jim Cerny, and there's some other updates about Adam Edstrom as well that I wanted to get to in terms of his recovery and what's going on. So he said that I'm proud of the season I had. I'm proud of coming into camp, making the team, playing all the games before I got injured. And again, he's only 24 years old, and he made a really good impression coming into training camp. I was actually very impressed with him. And he went on to say, it's tough. I really thought we were going there at the end. Me, Rempe, and Sam Carrick, we found something really good on the fourth line, and honestly, they did. They looked fantastic together, and so it's always tough to miss time, but it's one of those things that happens. It's part of the sport. I'm excited to come back, and I think he's going to play a big role for this team coming into next year. He played a big role for this team last season until he was injured. I wonder, I don't think he would have turned the tide in terms of the Rangers making the playoffs, but he was a big part of this team, especially on the fourth line. So it's going to be fun to see him back in the lineup, but let me know in the comments what you think about the new information on Braden Schneider's injury. He should be back for the start of next year, but the fact that he was playing on a torn labrum for 2 years, I think, calls a lot of things into question. So let me know about that. Let me know your thoughts on Adam Edstrom as well. Looks like he's going to be back for the, if they made the playoffs, there was talk about him returning already. So it looked like he'll be fine. He'll be able to train during the summer. He'll be back next year. I think he's going to play a big role for this team as well. But let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.